Hi, and welcome to the 7th session of the Quantum GIS Walkthrough series. In this session, I'll be showing you how to access and query your vector attributes. Attributes play an important role in understanding and using your vector data. There are a number of ways to access the attribute data for a vector file. Firstly, on the toolbar, there is the Identify tool. Here you can click on any individual feature to see its attributes. The Identify tool works on the active layer that is selected in the Legend panel. When you click on a feature, the attributes appear in a pop-up box. Secondly, we can view attributes through the attribute table. You can access the attribute table through the icon on the toolbar, Open Attribute Table, or by right-clicking the layer and selecting Open Attribute Table. Here we have a full list of all the features and their attributes. We can see that there's a total of 480 features. Remember, the map view and the attribute table are linked. So if we select any feature in the map view, I can select a feature using the Select tool on the toolbar. The selected features record is also highlighted in the attribute table. To deselect a feature, I hold down Ctrl and click it again. Let's only show selected attributes in the attribute table. Currently, I have no features selected, but as I select features, my attribute table will dynamically update. To select more than one feature, I can hold down Ctrl. There are also other options for selecting more features. For example, I can select by rectangle. To deselect all features, I can click the Deselect Features from All Layers. In the attribute table, we can also sort the data ascending or descending according to a field. The data in this area column seems strange. Some values are 0, and there are also values in scientific notation. Let's delete this column and recalculate area and add it as a new area column. To delete a column, I'll use the Table Manager plugin. I have already installed and enabled my Table Manager. Before I start my Table Manager, I should make sure that my layer is selected in the Legend panel. Then I can click on the icon on the toolbar, or I can click under the Plugins menu, Table Manager. To delete my area column, I'll select it, click delete, yes, and save my changes. Now I can create a new area column. The area is calculated in the units that the project properties is set to and is based on its projection. I will check my project properties and make sure that I'm using a projected system and in meters. Now let's go back to the attributes table and I'll enable editing. I can do this by clicking the pen icon on the attribute table. Next, I'll click the field calculator. My new output field name will be area. It will be a decimal number with 2 precision units. And to calculate area, I'll simply click the area operator. This will update in the field calculator expression to fetch the area variable. Now I have an area column that has been added to my table. I can save the edits that I've done by toggling off edit mode. We can test the area that we calculated using the measure tool. Firstly, let's select a feature. Then we can use the zoom to selected rows or the zoom to selection button on the toolbar. Next, we'll use the measure tool to measure the area. Click to digitize each point. And right-click to finish digitizing. We can see that this area is about 6,200 meters squared. Let's check this in the attribute table. This number seems quite close. Let's deselect that record and move on to the next section. The next section I'll show you how to search your attribute table. There's 2 ways. We can use the look for field. Over here we need to type the phrase or number to search for in the field. Firstly, let's select our field. I'll be looking for the water bodies in the descriptor field. Notice that case sensitive is enabled. "357 features were found." This area contains many small dams. To see all my results, I can move the selection to the top by clicking this button over here. The second method is using the advanced search. Firstly, let's deselect the records that I currently have. I can click Unselect All in the bottom left corner. Remove my previous search. Clicking the Advanced Search, I can select my field and get all possible records for that field by clicking All. In my case, I was looking for the field, which I double click to add to the expression box at the bottom. And then I use the operator equals. And then the value I want is water bodies, and I double click that to add it. Let's add on a second criteria. I'll use the AND operator to add on a second expression. And I'll say that I want the area to be greater than 30,000 meters squared. I can test this by pressing Test. There are 94 features found. So this obtains the water bodies that are greater than 30,000 meters squared. Next, I'll show you the query builder. Let's firstly deselect the current selected features. The query builder is available under the layer menu. Select Query. The query builder can be used to display a subset of the layer file. So only the features that fit within that criteria will be displayed. I can use the same query I used in the previous query builder under the attribute table. But for this one, I'll try something a bit different. Again, using the descriptor field, I'll select All. I see that there are a number of records that are labeled as cultivated. What happens if I wanted to only display all the cultivated land? I could build a statement like this. Descriptor like, which means it includes the words cultivated. And then I'll use a %, which could mean anything else could follow. And I close with the apostrophe. These statements use SQL. Doing a quick web search on SQL, you can easily build a statement like this. Let's test our statement. There are 8 records. So now my vector file is only showing the cultivated land areas. I can also set the definition of my layer via my layer properties, under the General tab, under Subsets, there's a Query Builder option where we can access it. If we wanted to clear this, we can simply click Clear and OK and OK again. And that's the end of the introduction to attributes. The next screencast session, I'll be working with editing vector data. I'll also be showing you some of the tools in the layer properties linked to the Fields tab and the edit widgets that are available there that will help you when capturing your data.